You can feel it in the air, can't you? Because tonight, something big's brewing in oil country. A comeback that could shake up the entire blue line. A behind-the-scenes move that might bring a new name between the pipes. And trust me, it's not just any name. There's tension, tough calls, and a dash of organized chaos that could redefine this season. The locker room's heating up, and the ice is about to catch fire. So tell me, are you ready for this? Hit that like button, settle in, and let's dive straight into the storm. Only Oilers fans really get this feeling. That mix of hope and nerves when a name you'd almost forgotten suddenly resurfaces and might be the missing piece that unlocks the team. That's exactly what's happening right now with Alec Regula, the defenseman who looked all but written off, suddenly coming back strong. He's been activated off IR, and that, my friends, changes everything about our defensive setup. The crazy part, he's been out since the second game of the season against Vancouver, when he took a couple of hard hits from Evander Kane and left limping, leaving every fan in Rogers Place holding their breath. Time went on, rumors flew, and the Oilers kept battling without him. Quietly though, Regula was grinding it out, rebuilding his confidence, his rhythm, his timing on the ice. And now that he's officially cleared for game action, it feels like we might be looking at the defensive spark we've been begging for. Don't forget, he looked sharp in the preseason, even after nearly 2 years of recovery from that brutal knee injury that wiped out his entire 2024-25 campaign. Yet he impressed enough to make the main roster and built instant chemistry with Darnell Nurse. That pairing showed real promise in the 2 games they played together. Even in tight contests, they controlled over 70% of expected goals when on the ice. That's tactical control, high-level awareness, and chemistry just waiting to be reignited. But now the real question kicks in. How do you fit Regula back in without shaking up the roster? The Oilers have a bit of wiggle room with 22 players active, but with Zach Hyman and Matthias Janmark close to returning, and Kasperi Kapanen a few weeks out, the numbers are going to get tight. And when the roster gets tight, you know what comes next. Trade chatter, whispers. And the name Stecker has started making the rounds. Word is Edmonton's looking for a soft landing spot for Troy Stecker. Sounds like a strategic play, clearing room, and keeping flexibility as this lineup starts to stabilize again. Regula's return isn't just about one guy getting healthy. It's a symbol of the quiet rebuild Edmonton's been piecing together. A team realizing that to win a Stanley Cup, you need more than firepower. You need defensive consistency. Regula's not just another name on the injury list. He might be the spark that reignites this blue line and gives it the backbone it's been missing. And if he comes back playing the way he did in the preseason, the Oilers are going to be a nightmare to deal with. And that's not even the wildest part of today's story. You know those stories that start small, seem harmless, and suddenly blow up into something huge? That's exactly what's happening in Buffalo. Devon Levi, once seen as the Sabres' future in net, is stuck in the worst kind of storm. Talent without opportunity. The fan base is splitting, and the trade rumors are getting louder. And guess which team's name has popped up as a possible destination? That's right, our Edmonton Oilers. Now things are getting interesting. Levi's no random prospect. The kid's resume speaks for itself. NCAA awards, standout performances at the World Juniors, strong numbers at every level. But in Buffalo, that star's dimmed. Not because he can't play, but because there's no room for him to grow. Buried behind veterans, shuffled down to the AHL, where, ironically, he's been playing lights out again. But no one wants to spend their career as a promising prospect. Word around the league is that he's asked for a trade, and honestly, who could blame him? Now think about it. The Oilers need stability in goal, badly. Stuart Skinner's had his moments, but confidence still wavers. And Calvin Pickard, well, let's just say he's past the point of offering total reliability. In that light, a young, hungry talent like Levi becomes very tempting. The best part? His trade value's low right now because the Sabres are mismanaging the situation. It's the kind of move that looks minor at first but could completely change a franchise's direction if it hits. Of course, there's a flip side. Can a win-now team like the Oilers really afford to roll the dice on a goalie with fewer than 50 NHL games? It's a tough call. On one hand, it could be a diamond in the rough move. On the other, if he can't adjust fast, it could cost the team dearly. Still, if there's a locker room built to mold raw talent, it's this one. Full of vets and accountability, with a winning culture that pushes everyone to be better. And you can't ignore Levy's mindset. The kid's known for his work ethic and game sense. He might not be the biggest goalie out there, but he makes up for it with lightning reflexes and surgical positioning. Put him in front of a structured, responsible defense, and you might see results sooner than expected. He lacks experience, sure, but he's starving for a shot. And in this league, where confidence is everything, that hunger can be the difference maker. Imagine the storyline. The overlooked kid from Buffalo comes to Edmonton, finds his groove, and turns into the backbone of a cup-contending team. It's the kind of story that fires up fans and creates unexpected heroes. It might not fix the present overnight, but it could set up a brighter future. And right now, that's exactly what the Oilers need to balance, winning today while building for tomorrow. But hang on. Because what's coming next could change everything about the goalie conversation in Edmonton. Sometimes the real problem isn't where everyone's pointing. While a lot of Oilers fans keep putting the blame on Stuart Skinner, the truth runs deeper, and it's spelled Calvin Pickard. The game against the St. Louis Blues was the wake-up call nobody wanted. 3 goals against, a painful loss, and the unmistakable feeling that Edmonton doesn't have a dependable plan B in net. When your goalie looks lost in his own crease, the whole team feels it. And that's exactly what we saw that tense Monday night. Pickard looked out of sync. Every movement felt heavy, uncertain, and when the plays demanded quick reads, he was stuck in slow motion. Dalibor Dvorsky's goal summed it up. A late read, poor movement, and a hole right in the middle of the net. Then Robert Thomas did what scorers do. He pounced. The game winner? A rebound that never should have happened. Another loss? And a locker room staring hard at the numbers. And the numbers don't lie. A .850 save percentage, 3.42 goals against average, and quality metrics crashing to 20%. That's well below the league average of .95 and 2.90. Even worse, Evolving Hockey has him at 2.4 goals saved above expected, one of the 10 worst among goalies with at least 5 games this season. No way to sugarcoat it. The backup has to be better. Now here's the twist most folks miss. Skinner, despite all the criticism, has quietly held the team together. With a positive GSX of 2.97 and a 2.52 GAA, he's the reason the Oilers are still in the mix. It's not a perfect season, but it's far from the meltdown people make it out to be. When the defense supports him, he delivers. And that bond between the goalie and the blue line seems to be strengthening, especially with guys like Regula returning to solidify the structure. Truth is, the Oilers have been doing their part defensively. They're one of the better 5-on-5 defensive teams in the league right now, allowing few high-danger chances. Yet they sit 28th overall in save percentage. That tells you everything. It's not about the volume of shots. It's about the quality and how Pickard just can't keep pace. When your backup can't be trusted, it messes with everyone's psyche. The forwards start playing, scared to make mistakes. The D hesitates and the whole rhythm breaks down. The glimmer of hope, Connor Ingram. Brought in to strengthen the depth chart, he started strong in Bakersfield, but quickly hit turbulence, giving up 5 goals in 3 games after a hot start. It's a reminder that in-house fixes aren't easy, but there's a silver lining. The coaching staff's more alert than ever, and changes are clearly on the horizon. Whether it's internal or through a trade, the message is clear. The bar's been raised and nobody's safe. If the Oilers want to keep that Stanley Cup dream alive, they'll need more than a solid Skinner. They'll need a full goaltending system built on trust, consistency, and maybe, just maybe, a new name ready to challenge the status quo. Because the numbers don't lie, and the window to win is open right now. And looking around Edmonton, it feels like a big decision's about to drop. When the ice starts to crack, every move matters. So, here we are. The ice might look the same, but something feels different in Edmonton. Alec Regula's back with something to prove. Devon Levi's name is circling as a bold target, and the goalie debate's showing that this team's heart is still beating hard, even under pressure. Every decision in the coming games could reshape the season's path. Do you think the Oilers should go all in on Levi, or trust the group they've got? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button, and we'll be back tomorrow with more fire from the ice.